In addition to victories and trophies, there are events in the world of professional tennis that significantly change the demography of the sport, so we must discuss the current changes on American cable television. We just seen the latter. You might have observed a statistical anomaly, a spike, or a rise that defies the typical metrics of a mid-season broadcast if you have been keeping an eye on Tennis Channel USA statistics over the past 48 hours. Although it usually targets a rather specialized traditional tennis population, the Tennis Channel used to reach about 60 million households in the United States. It's a world of legacy fan bases, quiet admiration, and technical study. However, Santa Monica's producers, analysts, and likely even management were unprepared for the viral digital storm that centered around that network this week. A 20-year-old Filipino southpaw from Quezon City was the source of this incident. Alexandra. The headline is accurate everywhere you look. Tennis Channel USA was taken aback. However, that would be an understatement. They were overwhelmed, not simply taken aback. The network attracted more viewers than a typical segment when they highlighted Eala's amazing run and subsequent admission into the WTA Top 50. They drew one of the most devoted, tech-savvy, and passionate fan bases in all of sports. We are discussing the global Filipino diaspora. The aforementioned video clip was not limited to television. It was intended to resemble a typical profile of a rising star. It moved. When it was shared, ripped, clipped, and went viral on social media, the Tennis Channel brand saw a level of engagement that is uncommon outside of a Big Three Grand Slam final. This was not an American champion, but the levels of engagement are comparable to those of the Titans. That was Alex Eala. What makes this important? Tennis has been looking for the next big market for decades. With Lina Na, they research China. They study Japan with Kei Nishikori and Naomi Osaka. But for Alex, things are different now. It's organic. There is no denying its loudness. A significant portion of the 60 million households that subscribe are suddenly given to a single athlete who represents a country in desperate need of a top athlete. You have everything you need to go viral. We're going to try something new today. There will be more than just the revelation of the score. We are thoroughly investigating. This anomaly will be eventually eliminated. We'll examine Alex's move from the Manila shell court to the immaculate hard courts of the US Open. The raffinatal factor will be examined. Her aggressive attitude was shaped by her training at the academy. We'll examine the technical developments in her game that have enabled her to overcome Grand Slam champions. Above all, we will look at why this particular Tennis Channel viral moment foreshadows future advancements in women's tennis. Alex has awoke in the United States. There are currently 60 million subscribers. The mystery of her identity has been solved. How far can she go then? Hold on tight. Let's take a deeper look. To grasp the scope of what we are witnessing on the Tennis Channel, let's put this viral moment in perspective. You must comprehend the gap Alexandra Eala is trying to fill. Southeast Asian tennis has been looking for a player who can go beyond a regional circuit for a very long time. We have witnessed outstanding athletes. On the WTA Tour, we have unquestionably witnessed journeymen who have established decent professions. It is extremely rare to find a true trustworthy singles contender. They probably anticipated a typical thank you post when the Tennis Channel broadcast their piece. Do you wish to see the section player? In the end, their sense of patriotism led to their collision. It's important to keep in mind that when Manny Pacquiao fights, the Philippines disappears. Every time a player with even a touch of Filipino ancestry appears on the field, this nation flocks to the NBA's common areas. Alex Eala's appearance on a big US. The S network is not merely a claim. Eala is a talented local who carries a flag, speaks a language, and proudly dons Seda hair ties at Wimbledon. It is related to ownership. The supporters get a sense of inclusion in the adventure. And what an adventure it has been. This moment went viral for a reason. It is the result of an arduous, cruel, and beautiful climb that started many years ago. Let's begin at the beginning. It would be impossible to discuss Alex Eala without mentioning Monaco, Spain, and the Rafa Nadal Academy. That institution is the source of a specific lineage. You can see the essence of that academy when you watch Eala perform, particularly in these popular videos right now. The top spin's heft makes this evident. Refusing to give up on a ball is one instance of it. Eala recently verified a rumor regarding her Rafael Nadal practice sessions. For a moment, picture that. You and the King of Clay are exchanging blows as teens. He advised her to surround herself with kind people. Despite its seeming simplicity and even cliché, that counsel could be the difference between longevity and burnout in the competitive world of professional tennis. Nadal's most recent alterations to her style of play demonstrate her machismo. The difference between her 2022 US performance and that of the 2025 to 2026 season. She became the first Filipino to win a junior Grand Slam singles title at the US Open Juniors, which is amazing. She could count on the juniors' courage and dependability. Grit is sufficient in the professional levels to overcome titans like Sabalenka or Jessica Pegula. You must have a weapon. Her new abilities, particularly her lefty forehand, are highlighted in the well-liked videos on the Tennis Channel. In women's tennis, being left-handed is already a big tactical advantage. It allows right-handers to obtain previously unattainable perspectives. It throws off the opponent's rhythm. Eala's tantrum has started to fade. She took the initiative first. Her match against Klaratson at the US Open was the most blatant illustration of this. The game that solidified her rise to fame and reputation. ISA refused to give up in the sighting set. She took charge. From assault to defense, it is a strong force. To understand why the American audience is suddenly paying attention, let's discuss that US S is free to run. The most unstable and disorganized Grand Slam is the US is reachable. New York City serves as the backdrop. You need to have a certain amount of showmanship or be able to control the loudness if you want to succeed there. A flourish is present. Why? Due to the existence of Filipino residents in New York. We observed what appeared to be Davis Cup ties on the outside courts. Chants, flags, and a heated atmosphere. This excitement was captured by the Tennis Channel cameras. They were drawn to Eala's integrated environment generator. That is invaluable for a broadcaster. You want a player on your screen who attracts her own audience. They are showcasing her because of this. She is becoming viral as a result. It's not only the mood though. It's the outcomes. We must examine the data. In professional tennis, getting into the top 50 of the WTA rankings is perhaps the most difficult step. If you want to win matches on the WTA circuit, you must have the mental toughness necessary to deal with that expectation. Let's talk about the social media sector and the viral aspect once more. These days, a player's personality is just as important as their backhand. Eala is getting better at keeping her balance. Her voice is distinct. She is modest. But she is quite proud. When Saga brought the Philippine national flower to Wimbledon, it was a masterclass in branding. It provided the viewers with a symbol, whether on purpose or not. It provided a visual hook for the narrative. These intimate aspects were highlighted in the Tennis Channel season summary. The relationship and joint creation of history with Turkish football player Zians. A worldwide audience that yearns for connection finds resonance in these stories. I now want to concentrate on the technical study of why her game is so well liked on television, which helps to explain the massive viewership. A's game has a nice visual appeal. It's tidy. She rarely grunts. In slow-motion replays, which are the cornerstone of sports media, her flowing motions seem amazing. Her down-the-line backhand is starting to get recognition. Highlight reels are made when you have a signature shot. You get more subscribers when you get highlight reels. It's a visibility cycle. But we also need to think critically. If the difficulties were not considered, this comprehensive analysis would be inaccurate. There are two sides to viral fame. She now has millions of new viewers and consequently, millions of new critics because of the Tennis Channel part. The top 50 is currently the calibrated expectation. Losing in the first round is no longer a teaching moment. It's a disturbance. She is under a great deal of stress. With Emma Raducanu, we witnessed this. With Osaka, we witnessed this. The media quickly adopts the tour's objective as their favorite. Yellow is now in the living rooms of the average American sports fan because of the 60 million household watchers of the Tennis Channel. She is no longer merely a hero from the Philippines. She is starting to gain attention in tennis. This alters how rivals get ready for her. They'll investigate her further. They will attempt her second serve, which is still the place that requires the greatest defense, if we are to be analytical. Her kick serve works well on clay, but if it is not positioned properly, it can sit up on the fast hard courts of the US swing. These flaws will be brought to light by the viral scrutiny. The optimism around this news cycle, however, stems from the following counterargument. At the age of 20, Eala has demonstrated an exceptional ability to adapt. Watch her in Miami against Jessica Pegula. Pegula is a low, hard, flat machine. I couldn't keep up with such speed. The court did not dismiss her. She took part in the competition even though she lost. She demonstrated that she belongs in the 1,000 level events with a round. The analysts on Tennis Channel are aware of this. They are therefore promoting her goods. They're wagering on an increase in her stock. They are expecting that 60 million reach will turn into gold in terms of ratings if she does well at the US Open or Indian Wells. We must also discuss the Asian swing. Even though tennis is a worldwide sport, Western media occasionally ignores the Asian swing at the end of the year. That dynamic is being altered by A. At the moment, she represents that area. Eala is crucial if the tennis broadcaster is to retain fans during the Asian swing. The bridge is her. She draws a link between the Tokyo, Beijing, and Hong Kong competitions and the United States. The viewers during prime time. In a way, the network is recognizing the global shift in tennis interest with this viral moment. Let's examine the surprise component of a headline in more detail. The USA Tennis Channel was taken aback. It highlights a weakness in media analytics in the West. The diaspora effect is frequently overlooked by traditional measurements. They assess the degree of interest in the area. They measure the number of older, wealthier tennis players. They frequently overlooked how young people around the world were using the internet. The algorithm probably noticed an uptick that appeared to be bot activity until it declined because Eala's content was so extensive and well organized. It wasn't bots, though. They were actual individuals. A student in Texas, an engineer in California, and a nurse in New Jersey were all watching because it was the first time they had ever seen someone who looked like them treated like a celebrity on a major US sports network. This is how the power of representation is quantified. There may be more than simply a tennis player visible to the 60 million users. In addition to the financial repercussions, they saw a shift. Sponsorships result from viral moments. Eala is already an athlete for Nike. But American endorsements are made possible by your level of visibility. The STV. We are discussing a possible crossover star. She will go from being well-known in tennis to being well-known in society if she can maintain her viral notoriety with a victory in 2026, maybe a WTA 250 or a long run in a slam. 10 times as much attention is being paid to the screenplay for the remaining 2026 season than it was a month ago. This wider audience will now watch every game she plays. Even her qualifications may be concealed due to the Tennis Channel effect. She may post videos of her practice sessions online. In the sport, she is now regarded as a celebrity. We must thus consider this virus epidemic to be a tipping point. Alexandra Eala has made a name for herself in the media in addition to her years of dedication on the court. The gatekeepers of tennis coverage have compelled her to win, and those 60 million potential screens show that the audience is sticking around. This is a long-lasting trend. This is the WTA Tour's new reality. The stats unequivocally demonstrate that the YA era has a broadcast partner. Finally, let's stand back and consider what lies ahead. If they aren't supported by real outcomes, everything we've spoken about today, the 60 million members, the viral boom, and the shockwaves via the Tennis Channel becomes useless. However, we've discovered in recent years that Alexandra Eala doesn't mind making noise. She exploits it. She won a Grand Slam by taking advantage of the juniors' pressure. She won a gold medal at the SEA Games by taking advantage of the pressure of national expectations. She will now take advantage of the pressure created by her unanticipated ascent to fame in American media to move up into the top 20, top 30, and even higher. This week, the Tennis Channel may have been taken aback. I promise that they won't be shocked the next time, even though they might have been taken aback by how interested a 20-year-old Filipina can be. They are now on notice, as is the entire tennis community. The scenery has evolved. As we anticipate the forthcoming Grand Slam, the crowd has grown. Pay attention to the stats as well as the center court. As Alexo takes the court in real time, pay attention to how big the audience is. Leading the sport's expansion is a young woman who plays for her nation. We will be there to record every serve, volley, and viral moment to mark the start of this lengthy and noisy chapter in tennis history. I appreciate you watching. Make sure you tune in right away if you want to stay up to date on this evolving story and the in-depth analysis of the changing dynamics of the WTA Tour.